What's up, peoples? It's Gendo here, and welcome back to another edition of the Great Chicago Fire. Of course, if you are still enjoying the series, please go and drop it a like, and thank you very much for the continued support on this series. It's very much appreciated. I don't know how much longer I want to go on this. I want to say 2 more seasons, but that all depends on how this season comes to be, because as you know, we are in the CONCACAF Champions League knockout stages, which will be taking on Seattle in the quarterfinals today. There hasn't been much of anything since the last episode, the end of the transfer window. We do have some holes to fill, though, because as you remember, Renato Ibarra has not accepted to come through. The deal fell through because designated player rules and whatnot. So we're out a winger, so I need to scramble for a winger before the squad registration comes up. But there is one thing I want to talk about before we get into the matches today, and this was actually brought up in a comment 2 episodes ago, basically saying Mixed Disc Group was on $750,000 contract. Well, he's not now, but this was when he noticed it. Do you have to pay that entire salary, and does that hit the cap entirely? Basically meaning, does the $750,000 hit the cap entirely? Well, yes and no. It does hit entirely if you don't take some of that cap hit away using general allocation money. Now, because I had $1.2 million in my general allocation money, I was able to take that cap hit significantly down to get myself under the salary cap, so I didn't have to sell any players off, and I'll show you how you can do that in your MLS save. So first and foremost, let's actually go on to Mixed Disc Group's page. He's on $588,000 right now because I restructured his contract to take less money for the next couple of years. But what you do is you go into contract, and you go into contract info, and you see this little slider right here. What this says is it's your salary cap impact for the 2018 season. Now, you do still pay his entire contract of $588,000, but the amount of money that it impacts the salary cap can be varied depending on how much allocation money you have in the back. So as you can see right now, I dropped it so much that he only has $210,000 left in his contract that we are actually paying out of our money, and the rest goes out from general allocation. And as you can see, it's a slider. You can move it as far up or as far down as you want, but you got to watch out that you don't waste all of your general allocation money on one person. I split this up between the majority of my roster, just bringing their contracts down so I can then use that extra space to bring in players like Bastion, like supposedly Renato Ibarra, like Freddie Guarin. So yeah, you can move this slider up and down. Just remember contract info, and you can play with the slider. If you have a lot of general allocation money, I would highly recommend bringing down a lot of your heavy cap hit players to then bring in more players, just so you know you're under the salary cap, and then use that to your advantage. So I got ourselves the first leg of the quarterfinals. We are away from home at Seattle, and I know I have the Chicago Fire headgear, and I know they haven't won in real life in a long time, but I want to wear the headgear of a winner. So let's see what we got in the bag. And we could always opt for the hometown Chicago favorites, the Chicago Bears, but first and foremost, they haven't won in 30 odd years, and they're kind of rubbish now, so forget that. And let's see what else we got in the bag. Oh, we can always go with the 6-time NBA champion Chicago Bulls, but first and foremost, this is kind of rubbish, and it's got a big hole at the top, so yeah, automatically sucks. Oh, I know what we can use. We can use the current World Series champion Chicago Cubs, and also festive. Oh god, I'm clipping. Oh god, I'm clipping out. I'm clipping out. Abort mission. Abort mission. Well, I guess it's back with the Chicago Fire headgear for now. I mean, why fix what ain't broke, I guess. So our lineup's going to be as follows. We're going to have Johnson in net, Ramos, Kapelhoff, Opara, and Vincent along the back line. Pedro Ferreira is our defensive mid. Guarin and Diskerud, the midfield pairing with Molino and Akam out on the wings, and the Dutch Lion of Michael Deleuze sitting up front. It would have been nice if I would have had Bastian Schweinsteiger playing today, but number 1, he wasn't registered in time. Number 2, he actually got himself injured after I signed him from Manchester United, so good on for him. He's out with strained ankle ligaments for the next 3 weeks, so he's not going to be playing here. He might miss the start of the MLS season proper, but we will have him for the rest of the season. So without further ado, let's get into the first match. So playing away from home has been more of a challenge than playing at home for us, but we have done really well at the home legs of these matches, even in the cups. So I feel like we can get ourselves a decent result at home if we don't come away with a win here. Just about 14 minutes on now, and Seattle has the first attack. Perez Acuna inside. It's cleared away, but then Johnson comes back with a rebound header. Good save. But so far, it's fair to say Chicago really hasn't done much. No shots as of yet. And right now, as you can see, we still don't have the ball. Seattle is still pushing forward. Fernandez through to Lodero, takes a shot, and Lodero gets Seattle off to the right start. 1-0 after 21 minutes. Boys, we need to wake up. Rodrigo Ramos inside. You know, I'm just going to chalk that goal up to our back line is not fit because we're still technically in our preseason. So I keep advocating for the Champions League to push further into the season. Make it March to May, not February to April. It gives us a lot more chance to prepare and a lot more time to get our players up to speed. Kappelhoff inside to Ramos, who gets inside to Deleu. What a great cross in from Ramos, and Deleu lasers it into the back of the net. We got our equalizer. It's 1-1 after 35 minutes. Get in, boys. And of course, as I've said before, away goals matter in all of these competitions, so it's great to get ourselves on the board here to at least have something going back to Chicago. What a great strike from Deleu. Powers it in there. Halftime, and I'm really not seeing a lot of good play out there. You got Molino with a 6-5. You got Kappelhoff on a yellow card. I'm going to switch somebody out. And in fact, it's going to be Molino out for Soloniak, because I know Soloniak can play out on the right wing or out on the left wing as well as an inside forward, so I want to try and use his pace. He is faster than Kevin Molino. I want to try and use his pace and be a little bit more of a force in the attack. So come on, boys. You can still come out with a win. I'm sure of it. So Soloniak going to try and use his pace going forward. If we can get ourselves a second away goal, ooh, that would help us out immensely. Out to Soloniak to mix. That's some great passing along the edge, but now we need to get into the middle of the box. Guarin out to Ramos, crosses it in to Soloniak. Oh, just over the bar. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. Gets inside to Vincent. You can decently cross the ball, but that's not really what I want to see. Oh, I thought we would have put it back into the box, and now Seattle's got themselves on a break. Jordan Morris, using his pace, crosses it into the box. Fernandez, holy crap, how did you miss that? Corner kick for us. Kokish tries to get into the box, but he's surrounded. I don't know who he was trying to get it into, but it was surrounded by green shirts. Couldn't get it into anybody. And now with 8 minutes left, Clint Dempsey with the ball. Vincent with a good tackle, but it's back into the box. Fernandez off the crossbar. Seattle had a great chance to get into the box. My word. Lodero now getting the ball into the box. It's just over the bar. What a great ball. Time ticking down, and the ref blows his full-time whistle. It's 1-1 at the end of the first leg. Not a bad result. We do get ourselves the away goal. And like I said before, we are deadly at our home pitch. So I have a good feeling, but I can't really count out Seattle. If they're going to keep playing like they did today, they're going to make it difficult for us. But like I said, 1-1 draw, going back home. I'll take that any day of the week. All right, so we got ourselves a trade alert. You remember Christian Ramirez, the striker that I said I really wanted to go after as a backup for Michael Deleu? Well, I did offer them a couple of draft picks. I offered Minnesota United a couple of draft picks, and this is what they came back with. They themselves wanted one more draft pick on top of what I originally put out for them. I said a third round in 2019 and a first round 2020. Well, they want a second round in that 2020 draft as well, but on the return side, they will give me $110,000 in general allocation money. I honestly say if we can try and get 150 out of it, I think this would be a good trade. Let me suggest that to them. Okay, they reject it. So let's drop it down to 120. Let's split the difference, say 130. If they agree with that, then, ooh boy, I'm going to have myself a nice little striking option between Deleu and Christian Ramirez. Right, now it's time for the second leg of this Champions League quarterfinal match with Seattle, and there's only been 2 changes to the roster being made. Joe Mara is coming in for Ike Opara, and Matt Polster has to come in for Pedro Ferreira because Pedro has been suspended after getting a yellow card in the last match. Everything else has been untouched. Everyone else is still out there from the last match, and I feel like this is the roster that will give us the best chance of winning. So it's home turf. We got to defend this home turf if we want to get ourselves through to the semifinals. So let's go kick off and see what happens. A lot riding on the line before the season is even started. 90 minutes determining who's going to go on to the next round of the Champions League. And as it stands right now, because we have that away goal, we do have ourselves the advantage. Brandon Vincent, though, into Molino, takes a shot, ooh, directly off of that Seattle wall. So far, we have been the more aggressive of the two teams, and as it shows, we are back again in the attacking third. Mix through to Molino, taking a shot. Oh, it bounces off the goalkeeper. Renan couldn't parry it away, and Kevin Molino gets the fire out to a 1-0 lead early. Just keep the pressure up early, boys, and that'll get you the goal. Some great passing will help along with it, too. Mix to Molino. I think it took a deflection off defender before going off the goalkeeper and into the back of the nets. Whatever, it's a fluky goal, and it's 1-0 to the Fire. Hey, I'll take fluke goals. I don't care, as long as they're goals. Oh, ball over the top of Kapelhoff's head. Kanga is in, but he shoots it wide. Come on, defense. Gotta play smarter than that. Good clearance, Molino, and he's got room to run. Molino, room to run, bats it up to Deleu, takes a shot. Ooh, what a save from Renan. Molino down to the box. Akam. Oh, it's just over the bar. Oh, I got giddy there. I thought it was going into the back of the net. Interesting to note that Deleu has not had the best of days, and that could be another reason why I'm trying to go after Christian Ramirez. Because if Deleu is not having that best of day, I can always have somebody else on that can come in and do the job for him. Plus, he's 6 years younger than Deleu, so it's always good to look towards the future. Am I right? But anyway, we're coming up to halftime. We still got ourselves a 1-0 lead. I don't want to really put a lot of pressure on the boys right now, so I'm just going to tell them I'm happy with what you're doing. Go back out there, keep it up for the next 45, and come back winners. Ball lumped over the top. Seattle coming forward. Fernandez to Dempsey, but it's a good save by Johnson. Seattle has turned on the afterburners in this second half. They have had a lot of the ball. Free kick, top of the box. Mix. Oh, what a save from Renan. Corner kick, Ramos into Guarin. Freddie Guarin taking a shot, but just can't get through. Can't open his scoreline just yet for the Chicago Fire. Is some great movement around the middle of the park, but now we just need to push it forward. Deleu playing a little too far back, but Ramos with the ball crosses it in to Molino. Try to find Molino. Mix taking a shot, but good save from Renan there. What a good block away, and now Akam, he's running. It's 2-on-2. Akam, what's he going to do with it? He's going to pass it, or is he going to shoot it? Crosses the pitch up to Ramos as he lets the red shirts run in. Ramos, just cross it in, my man. Cross it in. Ah, and it goes out for a throw. That's basically the purpose of this formation, this 4-3-3 that I have. It's a lot of triangular passes. And triangles are very, very well known to be the key when dealing with football formations. Akam tries to slip it through. Because you can see it, all the midfielders and the wingers getting themselves into proper position. Solonyak, oh man, if you just hit that a little harder, the goalkeeper had no chance. And we would have had a nice solid 2-0 lead here. We're going to come away winners here, boys. 1-0 on the day. It's a foul by Garza. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's time wasting. But Chicago, 1-0 on the day, 2-1 on aggregates, and we're going to get ourselves through to the semifinals. And there it is, the red card from Garza notwithstanding. It's 1-0, 2-1 on aggregates, and the Fire are going to the semifinals of the CONCACAF Champions League for the first time ever. Let's go, boys. Overall, great performance. A very, very good performance. I loved how everybody's played, and here's what we're going to be dealing with. Okay, Club America has beat Pachuca by the final score of 2-0. DC United beat Monterrey 3-2. Sporting KC beat Santos Laguna 3-1. Now, those are just in these matches. We need to take a look and see how the aggregates come out. Oh, and the aggregates are as follows. We're the only American team left in this competition. America 4-1 on aggregate. Us 2-1. Monterrey 5-3 winners. And Santos Laguna just squeaking away from Sporting KC by the score of 4-3 on aggregate. So we're the lone American team left in this competition. Let's take a look and see who we're going to be facing. Now, going by the tree, we're going to be taking on Monterrey in the semifinals of this CONCACAF Champions League. Now, I don't know exactly when we're going to be taking them on. Let's go fast forward a couple days. So going by the email, it says that it's the 14th of March is when our first match is, and the calendar says that's only 2 weeks away. Ugh. As if it wasn't bad enough that we got to go against a very, very strong Mexican side, and all of the sides that are left from Mexico are very strong. Club America, Santos Laguna as well. But this is still technically our preseason. We're still trying to get players back into fitness and form, and I've been harping on this for the last couple of years that the MLS needs to petition CONCACAF to push the Champions League dates back. instead of February to April, make it March to May, just so the CONCACAF teams, the MLS teams actually get better fitness and be a little bit stronger, have a little bit more fighting chance going into these. But as it stands, that makes it all the more challenging for us MLS side. So next episode, Fire versus Monterrey in the CONCACAF semifinals of the Champions League. But until that time, guys, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching this episode. If y'all liked it, please drop it a like and subscribe if you're new. Any comments, suggestions, questions, leave it in the comment box below. But as always, guys, this is Gendo, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and peace out.